and welcome to the YMCA of San Francisco's Classroom for All. My name is Justin, and today we will be learning how to do addition. So feel free to follow along now, or you can just watch and try this by yourself later. So let's go ahead and get started. So for addition, I'm actually going to show you how to do 4 different ways of adding. You don't have to remember all of them, but maybe there's one that you like better than the others. So I think it's good to learn a little bit about each of them. So to start, I want to talk about stacked adding. So this is a type of addition you might already be familiar with, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. So I want to add two-digit numbers. So that means more than 10. So let's say I want to add 15 plus 23. So I'm sure you've all seen this type of addition before and are probably very familiar, but I do think it's important for us to go over it. So this is called stack addition, and it's called that because our numbers are stacked on top of each other. So all we're going to do is add the back set of numbers first. So 5 plus 3 is going to be 8. Next, we're going to do 1 plus 2, which is 3. That's going to give us an answer of 38. Of course, there's different situations, such as carrying, which I'll show you now. So let's try it where we have to carry a number. So I'm going to start with 17, and I'm going to add 18. So just like before, I'm going to stack my 2 numbers, and I'm going to start with the ones place. That's what I'm going to add first. So I'm going to go 8 plus 7, which is going to be 15. So I'm going to put the 5 on the bottom, goes in the ones place with the other ones. And I'm going to put the 10 up here in the tens place. So just the 1 up there. And now what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. And our answer is going to be 35. So that's just one way to add. I do think that this is my preferred method, and it is the easiest for me, but maybe break apart branching or number line adding might be better for you. So let's go ahead and move on to break apart adding. You don't have to be great at every single one of these, like I said before, but I do think that each of these offer their own advantages when we're adding. So for break apart, what we're going to do is, let's say we have 14 plus 16. Okay. So once again, break aparts can be used for double digits and up, because if it's just a single digit, there is no need to break apart the numbers. So here's our problem. We have 14 plus 16. So how are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to break 14 into 2 numbers. So we have a 4 in the ones place and a 1 in the tens place. So 14 could actually be broken up into 10 and 4. Same can be done with 16. So we're going to break 16 into 10 and 6. So now that we broke apart our numbers, you can see that all our numbers are 10 or less. So it should be a lot easier to add it up. So let's go and match up the numbers that make sense. So 10 plus 10, let's match these together. That's going to be 20. 4 plus 6 is going to be 10. 20 plus 10 is going to be 30. So that's how you break apart. We broke apart 14 into 10 and 4, and 16 into 10 and 6. And then we found that 10 plus 10 and 4 plus 6 are easier to add than, say, 14 plus 16. So this bottom method, I just realized, is very similar to our branching method. It's almost exactly the same. So as you can see, you can always mix these 2 techniques together. So let's go into our branching. So branching works best when we have a large amount of numbers. So let's do it this way. Let's say we have 2 plus 7 plus 18 plus 3. Okay, so we have a ton of numbers here, and it might be a little bit difficult to just add straight across. So when we do branching, what we're going to do, we're going to try and group up numbers that make sense to go together, or numbers that are easy to add together. So for example, if we look at 7 and 3, we know that they're going to make a good pair of 10. So 7 and 3 is probably easier to add than 2 plus 7. And then so if I were to try and find another pair, I might look at 2 and 18, because I know that 2 plus 8 is going to equal 10, so 10 plus 10 is going to be 20. Okay, and once again, we have 20 plus 10, and it's going to give us 30. So this is our branching technique, and it's a way to group together numbers that are easier to add than, say, 2 plus 7 or 18 plus 3. So that's branching. And let's move on to our final technique for adding, which is the number line. Number line is very useful, and I think it's the most visual technique that we have. So if you think that you learn better through seeing something, the number line method might be the one for you. So let's go ahead and do 12 plus 4. Okay, so give me a quick second so I can add these all up. So the number line method does take some time, so that is one of its drawbacks. Ooh, hopefully you can see this at the end. 16. Okay, so I did a number line up to 16. It's going to be the perfect amount, but sometimes you just have to guess and hope that you have enough ticks. So how we're going to do the number line method, we're going to look at our first number, which is 12, and we're going to go all the way up to 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do one dot there. And what we're going to do next is we're going to add 4 on top of our 12. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our answer is going to be 16. So that is our last way of doing addition. That's using a number line. And we just counted up to 12, and then we counted up 4 more spaces for our 4 that we're adding on. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, so that's about it. Like I said before, there are many, many different ways to solve an addition problem. Hopefully I taught you a new way, and maybe you'll be better at adding after watching this. So thank you so much for joining me. In addition, please join us at ymca.org/classrooms4all for more fun classes, and I'll see you soon.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter in place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.